This remote can turn on a fan, and I'll show you exactly how to build and write the code for this step by step. By the end of this video, you will be able to control a motor and fan using a remote, even if you're a complete beginner. This might look simple, but this is the foundation of real automation systems. If you're using the same starter kit as me, you already have most of these parts. The link is in the description for this starter kit. So we'll need the ELEGOO board, of course, the Arduino itself. We'll need the power supply module, which provides a steady voltage to the DC motor. We need a remote control. We need a DC motor with a fan. We need the motor controller chip, and we need the IR detector. Let's wire it up. So we're going to continue on from last week. If you haven't seen that video, you can go back. It's the last video I made where I connected up the IR receiver with the Arduino. So it only takes about 10 minutes to look at that video. So go back and look at that video if you haven't done so. So let's continue from there. So next part we have is a power supply. We need to power the DC motor. So we have to make sure to put that in. So you can see, over here, you can see there's a plus and a minus here. We have to make sure it lines up. So we will put that in here. You can see there's a jumper here connecting the 5 volts, and there's a jumper here connecting 3.3 volts. So we want 5 volts. Okay, next what we're going to introduce is the L293. So this is a popular 16 pin IC designed to control the motor and speed of a DC motor and stepper. As a dual H-bridge driver, meaning it can control 2 DC motors independently in both directions. But we're actually just going to use one side of it. So we're going to use this side. So I will put that in. So as I said, it can control 2 motors independently. We're going to use one side here. Okay. So you might be asking, okay, this is what else are we going to be using? So we're going to be using, this is our DC motor. We're going to be controlling with some tape to keep it in. Okay, so I'll put that in a minute. And what I'll do first is I will continue to connect up the chip. So what we're going to do is connect from pin pin 16. It's going to be going to one of the, okay, longer. So pin 16 is going to pin 5. So it's a digital input here. Okay. Okay, so pin 15 and pin 10 are the inputs. So basically, if we put pin 15 low and pin 17 high, the motor will run in one direction, and if we change from high to low, it'll run the motor in the other direction. So we'll connect that. So it's pin 15 is going to four. Okay. And now the next pin is actually going to the red connection of the motor, which we have here. Okay. And the black connection of the motor Okay, so we'll connect the black wire of the motor to the third last pin. Okay, and then we're going to connect the other input to this pin here. Okay, and then we're getting power from 5 volts, or from the power line to here. Okay, so that's pretty much the chip connections complete, and we have our motor here. And what I also have plugged in here, sorry, I also have plugged in, you can't see, is so from a 9-volt battery we have plugged in the power supply here. Okay. Okay, over here to the coding. So, as I said, we're continuing from last week, where we just had the remote working and we were getting values of 1 and 2 back to the serial monitor. So again, if you haven't seen that video, just go back to the last one. And so now that I've connected the L293 and the motor and the power supply, what I'm going to do is I am going to declare each of my connections there. So I'm going to do int motor speed pin equals 5. So that's this one going to pin 5. Okay. And then I'm going to do the direction pin. So it's int direction 1 is going to pin 4. So as I said, there's 2 direction pins on this chip. Remember, this chip is like the middleman between the motor and the Arduino. They, in one direction it can go, in the other direction it can go, and it can also control the speed. So that's one direction. So in the ints and direction 2 we had going to pin 3. Yeah, okay, so pin 3. Okay, and then we need to declare the motor speed. So we will put it at top speed for the moment, that's 255 of course, and semicolon. So then we come down, we've already begun our serial monitor, IR enable, that's the IR detector is enabled. Okay, what else do we need to do here? We need to, yeah, we need to make the pins that we've connected now. Do we make them inputs or outputs? We actually make them outputs. So pin mode, direction 1, output. Uh, so I can't spell again. Direction 1, it's an output. Pin mode, direction 2, and output. And pin mode, motor speed, pin. We have to make that, of course, an output as well. Okay. Right. And now we need to do a digital write. We're going to initially set this high on one pin and low on the other, because if you refer to the data sheet, it tells us that we need to have either one low, one high, and for the enable pin to be activated to get the motor to turn. Okay, sorry, direction 1 and direction 2, low. Okay, all right. Okay, and we have to make the motor speed pin analog right, of course. So analog right, motor speed pin Okay, and for now, I think that should be okay. We should have enough there to hopefully turn on the fan. So let's try. And there we go. So the fan is working. Perfect. Right, so now what are we going to do? We are going to, let's try to make the remote control the fan. So if I keep that running, put on my serial monitor, and if I press 1, okay, 1. Getting some interference there. Okay, 1. Okay, so let's say if I do the power key, and we can program the power key so that so if I press the power key, I'm getting many different codes. That's not good. Okay, let's just stop that there. And what I'll do is I'm going to, if I twist the motor wires, it might reduce the interference, because I think what's happening here is we're getting interference between the motor and the electronic circuitry, which can happen and which can introduce all sorts of stray signals. Okay guys, what I did is I moved the fan to slightly away from the rest of the wires here because there was actually interference, and as you can see, I did a twisted pair of the wires going to the motor. Now, in an ideal situation, what we do is we would add some capacitors here to filter out any unwanted signals, but for the purposes of today, we're just going to put the motor kind of away from the circuitry. And I think that's worked. So if I now press 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now, as I said, if I press the power key, right, so I'm getting that code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that code able to turn on the motor. So that would be, I will change. So I already have this one set to 1. So if I put this as FFA25D, and we'll make that power on. Okay. So serial print my value. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll come down again and create another if statement. So if I go if my value equals power on, open curly bracket, I'm going to do a digital write. Direction 1 high, digital write, direction 2 low. analog, right? Motor speed, pin, motor speed. Okay. And then if I want to turn it off, what I will do is, let's say this key here I'm going to do off. So if I press that, so this code down here now, this code here is going to be the program to turn it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code. And so if it's FFE21D, I'm going to call that power off. Then if my value is equal to power off, I'm going to turn the motor speed to 0. Okay, and let's have a go at that. Let's have a go. So it's compiling. Okay, I have an error. So the error analog I can't spell again. ANAL. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, it's compiling. Okay, now let's down to the Arduino, down to the board, and okay, let's turn it on. Okay, sorry, off. Wow, on, off, on. Wow. So there you have it, guys. My remote is controlling the motor. So once again, guys, all these components can be got from the link in the description below. Like 30 or 40 bucks. We'll get all these components in one set. Okay, so that's brilliant. That's working.